Maria, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here today. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
I'm okay.
Yeah, just okay?
Just, you know, it's a lot. I'm happy you left the door open. And it's nice talking to you. You know, my mom, she wants to know everything we talk about.
Did she ask a lot of questions yesterday?
Yeah, and I didn't really feel like talking to her about everything because we talked about so much. And,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
well, remember too that you also have confidentiality. Do you remember what confidentiality means?
I know, but it's my mom. She don't believe in that.
Yeah, well.
She said nobody keeps secrets from anyone, not even Jesus.
Well, that's true, but parents are like that, you know.
Yeah, she doesn't get it.
Well, let's focus on what happens in here. Let's focus on what you and I talk about, and then maybe if it's helpful, you can pick some of the less big things to tell mom, you know, on the outside. You can tell her that we talked about school, or we talked about all of, you know, your friends or
oh my
something.
God, you know, I told her yesterday that when we were talking, I told her that maybe soon, one day, she could come and talk with us. Now she wants to come. I said, Mom, not right now. I want to get to know, you know, John. Talk to him more.
It's absolutely when you're ready. And we'll find ways to help get you ready for that. Listen, I know that yesterday, like I said, we talked about a lot of big things, and we talked about a lot of important things, things that sort of weigh on your head and in your heart. So I just kind of want to check in with you. How are you feeling about what you shared with me yesterday?
You know, it's a lot. It's like sometimes I just feel like a cassette player. You know what that is? Yeah.
But tell me why you feel like that.
Well, because I just always gotta, it's just like, I say my story. It's like nothing anymore. It's just who I am, I guess. I don't know.
Well, who you are is lots of different things. What's happened to you doesn't absolutely define you.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like I caused so much problems, you know. My mom, my dad, and my mom were together, you know, because of me. And then everything that happened with those people and all the things that I was doing. And my mom suffered so much, you know, and it's not nice, all the stuff I did to her.
Do you feel responsible for your parents not being together?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because my dad liked me more than my mom.
That's a pretty big statement you made there. That's a pretty hard-hitting statement.
Yeah. Though my mom was mad at me because I'm not supposed to be his wife.
Well, you aren't. You're his daughter. Remember what I said yesterday about things happening to you and how things aren't your fault? Yeah. I want to just repeat that to you. I want to tell you again, things happen to you. They're not your fault. And I know that's hard for you to hear right now, but I'm going to keep saying it. You're going to keep hearing it from me. And we'll talk about how that makes you feel. We'll talk about how, you know, things that have happened, and maybe we'll find a different way to look at those. Okay?
How do you make other people think that, like, you know, nobody in my house talks to anybody. My brother's so young, and then he doesn't know everything that's going on. So I think he gets mad at me because, you know, our dad isn't home, but he doesn't know why his dad's not home. And then I heard my mom say one time, well, he's not here because of me, you know. And we feel bad, so I left.
Of course.
I left. So
I can only imagine how bad that must have made you feel.
I don't know.
Well, I can't imagine what it's like to be in your position, but I'm here to listen, and I'm here to help you work through some of that. Okay? Listen, I have something that I think might be of interest to you. Can I show it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty book.
Oh, yeah. So, guess what? This is not only a pretty book, this is going to be your very first tool here.
A tool?
A tool. A tool is something that I believe is going to help you, and I hope that you'll believe it's going to help you too. Open it up and take a look inside. Tell me what you see.
Pages.
You see pages. Is there anything on those pages?
No.
No. That's because I'd like you to fill them up with all of your artwork.
For me?
Yeah. Yeah, you told me yesterday how much you like to draw, right? So I was hoping that we could use this while we're sitting together and talking. Lots of times there might be something in your heart or something in your head that you might not have words for, or that you don't feel like sharing, or something that's so big. It does, to help you find your place. So to help you get that out of your head, I thought maybe instead of writing it down, or instead of talking about it, you could draw a picture about it. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, but I don't have a pencil.
There's pencils right there next to you.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see
I'm going to keep pencils right there for you. I'll have always sharpened pencils. If you prefer crayons and markers, I can bring some of those in too.
So you won't get mad if I draw while you're talking to me and we're talking?
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. I know you're listening. We're talking together, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Can I ask you another question? Because I'd really like to start using that right now. How does right now sound?
Okay, what do I draw? What do you want me to draw?
Well, do you know what self-esteem is?
No.
Okay. So the term self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. So if you look inside at yourself, how do you feel about yourself? Do you feel good? Do you feel strong? Do you feel proud? Do you feel sad? It's about how you feel about who you are as a person. Do you understand that? So I understand that you're feeling kind of down about yourself right now, and I understand that you place a lot of blame on yourself. Does that sound true? Yeah. So what I'd like to do, though, is find that part of you that feels good. You showed me some things yesterday. You told me some things that makes me believe that there are parts of you that you feel good about yourself. So I'm just going to ask if you're up to the challenge, to draw me a picture of something that makes you feel good about yourself.
It could be happy?
Mm-hmm. Draw me a picture of a time when you felt happy.
Okay. Let's see. I remember, like, I knew, like if it was yesterday or if it was a long time ago.
It can be any time you want. Any time in your whole life.
I felt happy when I met my brother for the first time. He was so cute.
Yeah, how old was he?
He was 2 when I first met him.
Oh, so this was, you said he's 3 now, right?
Yeah.
So a year ago.
He was so cute.
Yeah.
And so fat. I don't know why fat people look cute when they're kids, but now when we get older, you know?
It's
true.
True.
Oh man, he was so cute, and he knew I was his sister.
Yeah?
You know, you ever heard the saying, when sangre llama, you know, they say close to you because you got the same blood, you know?
So you were able to make that connection right away?
I knew right away.
Isn't that wonderful? Wasn't that a wonderful feeling?
I was so happy. He was so happy. We had smiling. It was like we were on TV.
That's wonderful. I can only imagine the smiles you had on your faces. What's your brother's name?
My brother's name is Robert.
Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Robert.
Well, really is Roberto, but I don't know. You know Spanish?
Yeah, remember we just talked about it.
Oh, that's right. You told me you know Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
That's good because my mom doesn't know English.
Well, no worries. I'll be able to communicate with her just like that.
Good. Roberto has problems though.
Yeah, what kind of problems does Roberto have?
My mom says something. He has
autism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always playing, but he's always like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I always call him dancing. I'm like, you're dancing again?
That's cute.
But he's a good boy.
Good.
He goes to a lot of different schools. They help him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad he has access to those resources. I'm glad he has people that support him. What about you? Who supports you?
Well, you do.
Mm-hmm.
You talking to me now. And my social worker.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom. My mom loves me so much. You know.
So, inside your family supports, you said you have mom? And again, I'm just writing these things down so I can remember in my brain.
Just my mom.
Just mom.
My grandma used to, but my grandma was back home. But remember when I told you?
In El Salvador.
Yeah. Remember when I told you that I ran away for a long time? That was before my dad left. My grandma died the same day. That's what my mom told me. My mom doesn't lie, but she died. I feel so sad for my mom because she couldn't go there. We don't got papers. So she couldn't go to the funeral. She was on video with the phone.
That's got to be
and
very,
the WhatsApp.
very hard. WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's you can call people in different countries,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
We have video.
Yeah. Do you call anybody back home? No.
They think I bring too much problems.
Well,
so I don't.
That's just one opinion. It's most important what you believe about yourself.
Well, that's what I believe because that's what everybody tells me. My mom doesn't tell me that, but
So
if somebody ever give
your
you
mom
food,
doesn't tell you that, so that's not everybody.
No, but somebody ever gave you food or a shirt?
Yeah, one of my friends gave me a beautiful plate of Spanish food the other day. It was pincho with barbecue and pork. And this beautiful plate of rice. And one of the things I love most about Spanish food is rice. I just love the way it tastes. I love the smell. I love the spices. And every time I eat it, I try to enjoy every
You
little
can tell
bite.
you like it from what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you give people things and they may pretend they like it. I think my mom... I don't think my mom would tell me that I would give her problems, but I know I did because she don't got a husband. She's paying all these bills. She was almost lost her job looking for me. We're always going to court. We come here. We gotta pay taxis. It's a lot. So I think she won't tell me, but I think it's a lot. I feel sad that I can't help her.
Well, I think that a lot of those things that you're worried about I know it's hard for you not to think about them as your fault, but a lot of those things are adult things. Working is an adult thing. Paying bills is an adult thing. And some of those things she has to do just because that's how life is. The taxis, the looking for you, all of those things are because of things that happen to you.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want.
I feel like you're gonna be my best friend. I tell you because some people, I feel like I could tell you things.
Sure, you can.
So remember, we go home now, right? Sometimes my mom gets to get us burgers.
Where
like
from?
a treat. McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
We never get to eat out. But they have a dollar menu. God, you get so much stuff for the dollar menu. Well, anyway, my mom when we left here because it was late, we went to the dollar menu. And I got burgers and I got fries.
Cheeseburgers or hamburgers?
Cheese.
Of course.
And then my brother, he likes those chicken things.
The nuggets?
Yeah, they look like circles.
Yeah.
But then we got home. I couldn't wait to eat it, right? And we got home, and then I felt sick.
From the food?
No, I didn't even eat it. I don't know, like the minute I walked in, I was happy because I thought, maybe we're gonna have McDonald's, and now we don't get to eat it a lot, And then I was walking to my room, and then I don't know, something fell. Then I started thinking about my dad, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but sometimes I feel like just wanting to run away and go back to those people. I don't want to be home, and it's crazy because he doesn't live there, right? But I don't know.
So it's just you and Roberto at home, right? Along with mom?
Yeah, but like I feel bad that my brother can't see his father, my dad too, and then I feel bad because my mom is married to him, and that's her husband, and there's so much bills, and like sometimes I tell my mom, I forgive him, he could come home, So sometimes she tells me that, well, if you want him to come home, he'll come home because he wants to come home. He's sorry. He's saying he will do that again to you. But my social worker keeps telling me that, he can't come home. But what if I say I forgive him? So my mom could be happy and my brother could be happy, but
Would that make you happy?
I don't know, because he's not home now, and sometimes I just want to run. And then it's crazy, John. I want to go to, like, my mom doesn't know, but there's like 4 houses down is where I used to stay. And even though the guy is not there, sometimes I just want to go back there. But
Because it's familiar, or because that's where you wound up
because
before?
then I don't have to think about my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to think about other things that they do to me there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's almost like I let it happen. Not like somebody, I don't know.
Can I ask you a few more questions about your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, how long has Dad been gone?
He, like, from El Salvador?
Well, from where you were living,
Oh,
from your house.
we were in July, Julio, right? July. My social worker said he needed to leave when I told her about he was raping me, you know? I told my social worker that, so my mom said he has to go right away. That was, I think, August.
August? So just about a year, huh?
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be without your dad. And I think that your social worker, what she said about keeping you safe right now is important. I think that what your social worker is saying is that your safety and you as a person and the things that your father was doing don't fit well together. That your safety is important, that you as a person are important, and you need to be protected. You're still a minor. You're still very, very young, and to have an adult do that, things that he's done, it's not appropriate, it's not right, it's illegal. So your social worker is trying to protect you.
I don't want him to go to jail though.
No? Well, where's Dad now?
I don't know. I thought he went back to Virginia because, you know, all his family, like all my titis and my tios and my abuelita, she lives there, you know.
Now, is your titi and your tios and your abuelita, is that your dad's side of the family?
Yeah, they all live there. And when we were living there, you know, they had a big house. But only my grandma has papers. Except my brother, because my brother was born in Virginia. But they had a lot of land. So we had built like houses and stuff. And that's where we were staying. But they treated my mom so bad there. But my dad was to drink when I first went there. But then everything happened there. We moved here and everything happened here. They don't really talk to me. I don't know if my mom talks to them, but I don't talk to nobody. I just talk to my mom.
You kind of keep to yourself?
And I play with my brother.
Yeah. Do you, well, aside from mom and aside from your brother, do you have any friends outside of the home?
I was going to school in Worcester, you know.
Well, was? So you're not in school anymore? What happened?
Because when I was going to that school, they were, you know, when I tell you that I would meet up with those people, I would run away. I wouldn't go to school. One day I went to school and I had a guidance counselor there, and I told him what was happening with my dad, and that's how I got a social worker. And he was nervous for me because I was cutting myself, but it wasn't like deep cuts. It's like, you know, you go like this with a feather, but I had a razor from like when you shave your legs. So I was just going like this to it, but I didn't make any marks or anything. It just looked real red, you know. And somebody saw me in the bathroom doing it and told my counselor, the guidance counselor. So he talked to me, and then I was crying because I didn't want to kill myself. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to go home to my dad, and I didn't want to leave with those people.
Maria, are you feeling safe right now?
I feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The door is open.
Well, the door is open, yes.
I got my artwork here.
You have your artwork, and you have your picture of Roberto. Do you feel like you want to hurt yourself now?
No.
No. Do you feel like
How can I want to hurt myself when I'm already dead? That's how I feel. Sometimes I feel like I live to see my mom smile and my brother happy. I don't know that I am any good.
Well,
you know, because
allow me to say, from what I know about you, I think you're a wonderful person. I think you've been through quite a lot, but it sounds to me like you've got a family that loves you and a family that you love very much. And it sounds to me like you're struggling a little bit right now, but you're okay. You're gonna be okay. You are.
Sometimes I look in the mirror, I see ugly girl. Like ugly. I got my eye that's all crooked. And I feel so nasty. And no matter how many times I take a bath, it's just, people don't understand. But my mom makes me so happy, and my brother. I don't know what makes me happy for me.
Well, how about we spend some time talking, and then maybe sooner or later we'll have an answer to that question about what makes you happy. I know your brother makes you happy. You drew me a picture about him.
And the burgers.
And the burgers made you happy too.
I should put that in here. I'm gonna draw a burger. Those are good. I like burgers.
Things that make you happy.
Yeah. Those are good.
Yum. So, before we start talking about some of the things that you mentioned to me yesterday, I'd love to ask you a few more questions about some background stuff about you as a person to kind of help me understand a little more as to what's happened to you, and to kind of where you are right now.
The bad stuff?
Well, we don't have to talk about anything that you don't want to talk to. Remember, I told you yesterday that you have the right to say no? You have the right to say no, Maria. You can say, I don't want to talk about that. And we'll find other things to talk about. But I just want to ask a few questions, not about all of those heavy things, because that might take some time, but about some of the less heavier things that'll help me understand a little more about where you are right now. Is that okay? Okay. Maria, you told me that back during some time that you had some drug use going on. Yeah, are you okay with telling me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I didn't know what everything was, but
tell me as much as you remember.
The person that I made go to the jail, remember?
Yeah.
I thought he was my boyfriend.
Oh.
You know, I met him when I was 12. And then, you know, he's much older than me. He was 18 when I was 12. But, you know, I wanted to like fit in with him, so they looked like they had these things, looks like cigarettes, but they was calling it pasto, you know. I think that's what you call the marijuana or something like that. Yeah. That would make me eat so much food. Oh my goodness. But then there used to be times when it looks like powder.
What color was it?
White.
White.
And he would put it in a long line, and he would tell me that I needed to take it. So I thought it was like, you know those candies that are like the powder?
Oh, like pixie sticks?
I thought it was candy, but he told me, no, it's going to make you feel real good. And I really don't feel so good. So I did it, but I had to put it in your nose, like that. So I did it like that.
And you didn't like it?
I did it one time, and I didn't tell him I never wanted to do it again. But then I don't know, a few times my mom doesn't know, but I was drinking alcohol.
You were drinking
when
alcohol?
I would stay with them.
What kind of alcohol were you drinking? Were you drinking like beer?
It was in glass bottles.
It was in glass bottles, so it was like, was it brown? Was it
brown
clear?
Stuff? One of them started with an H. I just didn't know how to really pronounce it. It was weird, long name, and it has a Y. It's so weird. And then.
Was it Hennessy?
Hennessy. I thought that was a weird word. One time, I went, you know, because I would leave and I wouldn't come back.
Leave from home or leave from the house where?
Leave from my house. I would leave on Thursdays and then come back in 2 weeks on Friday. That was my schedule. They told me. So So I thought I was safe with my boyfriend. And one time I took one of those cigarettes, and I woke up and see my tattoo over here.
Yeah.
I woke up with a tattoo.
You woke up with a tattoo. So, help me understand. Your boyfriend gave you a cigarette. You smoked the cigarette, and blacked out. You were unconscious, and you woke up with a tattoo.
I woke up with a tattoo, and I didn't have nothing on from my waistline. And then he came back in, and then I thought, he said, yeah, you had a good time, and then you went to sleep. So I thought that's what happened until another girl that was there, she was crying. She told me what she saw.
And what did she tell you?
That my boyfriend was having sex with me, and then he left, and other people were having sex with me before.
And you don't remember any of it?
No.
No.
But I got sick.
You got sick how?
In my private parts.
Oh, you did? Did you see a doctor?
I told my mom that I had the flu, and she took me to the doctor. And they gave me a medicine. I didn't want my mom to pick it up for me, so I told my social worker. And my social worker picked it up and gave me the medicine.
And have you been back to a doctor since?
I didn't go back to a doctor until 2 months later. So I had the same problem because they kept doing the same thing to me, John. I didn't have no more tattoos though.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you can't see the one that's there, so at least you don't have a visual reminder every day.
Yeah.
You know it's still there. Is it okay if we stay with this topic a little longer about drugs? Yeah. Are you using drugs now? No?
I don't like that.
No.
I thought I wanted to be cute, you know, like, cause I'm not 18, you know. I met him when I was 12. I thought I don't want to think I'm a baby, and they were doing stuff, so I thought
That's the thing to do.
But I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like marijuana. That taste it was okay. It was like cool, like I was an actress. And then you get hungry and you laugh, but I don't smoke it. Only
Not
when
at
I
all?
was with them, yeah.
Only when you were with
But
them.
I don't need it. Don't want it.
Good.
But I don't like the other stuff.
Are you drinking still?
No. I don't go anywhere, and my mom doesn't. My mom's Pentecostal.
Right. We talked about that last time with the skirts and the leg shaving.
She doesn't do anything. Sometimes I wish I could have marijuana, but I just think about all the problems that it brought me. I'd rather have a burger.
Me too. I would too.
I could have a lot of burgers instead of marijuana.
Well, you can. And burgers are delicious. Marijuana is.
My mom knows about them though. She knows
about the burgers?
the burgers and the drugs.
Yeah.
She knows that. Cause she thought I was on drugs. Cause remember I told you I would leave for a long time and come back, and I would come back so hungry. So even my hair, you see how long my hair is real long. I was keeping it in a bun, but it's so long. And I was asleep.
Well, I'm happy that you're not using drugs anymore. I'm happy that you came through it okay, and that you are able to recognize that they're not good for you. That's a positive. That's a very big strength for you. That really is.
You know those drugs. I don't know if I told you this. I meet with someone from an agency called My Life, My Choice. You know what that is? So, she was telling me she was like me. And she was telling me, you know, some people use those things so you don't feel nothing. Or some people use those things so they could do bad things to you. And that's what happened to me. Because I didn't need none of those things. Even though I didn't feel good anyway. I thought those were my friends. I thought those were good people, you know? So she helps me sometimes too. She talks a lot. She helps me.
That's good.
But I don't.
So that's another person that if we go back to, remember we were talking a few minutes ago about people that help support you and people that were there for you. So isn't your social worker one of those people then? Good. So it's good that you have people in your corner.
It's different though because that's their job. See, it's like your job to listen to me and to give me advice, and you're gonna do a good job. I think you're gonna do a good job, John. You speak Spanish. You gave me a book.
But I want to be clear with you. Can I just clarify with you? Even though it's my job to listen to people, I want to listen to you. I want to hear your story. I want to share your experience, and I want to be here for you.
But you're never gonna really feel what I feel.
That's true.
And you're never gonna know what it's like to be me.
That's true.
And what I go home to, because you didn't have to go through what I went through.
That's true, but I can, on the other hand, be here for you and listen to you talk about it. And
how's that gonna make me better? Am I ever gonna love me? Am I ever gonna like me?
Well,
Am
I hope
ever
so.
gonna learn to have friends? Because I tell you one thing, I've been meeting with my life, my choice person. I don't want to say no names, but I still don't have no friends. It's hard for me to trust people.
Well, that takes time. What happened to you happened over a long period of time, and it caused your feelings to turn in a certain direction. It caused you to think certain things, and it caused you to believe certain things about yourself.
Well, everything
And that's
that I love.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time to work through some of that. I hope that on the other end of it, you're able to see that there are good things about you, and that there are people that care about you, and that there are people there for you. And I hope that means that when you start to feel better about things and start to feel better about yourself, that you'll be able to make some friends, and you'll be able to trust some people, and you'll be able to let people in. But we don't have to solve all of that today. We can start from there. A few more questions for you. Is that okay? Or do you need to take a break?
I don't know. My phone keeps ringing. Can I check my phone
you
real fast?
You can do whatever you need to
just
do.
Just in case. My mom, she always gets worried because you're a guy. I just want to tell her that I'm okay. She knows now. I'm okay.
Okay, good. Talking about drugs is important, but let's finish up with that. I just kind of want to go back to what you told me about. You were feeling sick in your private parts. Are you better now?
Yeah, I went to the doctor.
You did go to the doctor? When's the last time you saw the doctor?
See, my social worker tricked me. So I told her, because I needed to check my private parts again. And she said, I'm going to take you to the hospital and they'll check you out. And if you need birth control, whatever you need, because I was running away from my house still. But then I told my social worker that I can't stay there long. You know the hospital is long if you don't have an appointment.
Yeah.
We was there 3 hours. And she tricked me.
How did she trick you?
Because I kept telling her, I have to go. If I don't leave, something's going to happen bad. So she walked out of the room, and then the next thing I know, someone said a word, section. And my social worker got me section. So I was in a hospital for 4 months. So
it went from a 3-hour hospital visit, and you were sectioned into a hospital for 4 months?
Yeah.
That's quite a jump.
Yeah. Because she was scared, and I'm mad at my social worker. She's a good lady, but she was scared that I kept telling her, if I don't leave, something's going to happen, because I needed to meet with people, and I don't care. I would have walked. I was ready to walk, but the police wouldn't let me go. So when I stood in the hospital, that's when they talked to me about what was going on, and that's when I got my boyfriend, my nice guy, was in jail. But then I got a doctor, and the doctor told me that I have no more problems with my private parts. And then I just went to the doctor again, actually, on Monday.
Oh, good. And what did the doctor say?
That my private parts are good, and that
awesome.
They're going to try to see if they could fix my eye.
That's good.
Because they told me it's just a muscle.
See? There's hope for you there. So, you were just telling me a little while ago how upset you were that your eye wasn't working properly, and then you just told me that somebody's going to try to help you fix it.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Now, did this doctor on Monday, they told you your private parts were in good condition, right? Everything was all fixed. Did they check the rest of you out? Did they look in your ears? Did they look in your nose? They gave you what they called a physical exam?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you said that was when...
And I had to do blood work.
And Did they say anything about your blood?
No, they told me everything was okay.
This was Monday or this was before?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Monday. And then they told me, they made my mom leave.
Mm-hmm. They wanted to talk to you, of course.
I told them I only wanted a girl to check me down there.
Of course.
They talked to me about checking all my private parts, and then about if I still want to have sex, about not getting pregnant and using.
Have you ever been pregnant before?
No, but they told me about birth controls. So many of them.
Did they help you pick one?
I didn't pick nothing because I'm not having sex. I'm home. I'm not thinking about boyfriends and stuff. But the lady was nice. She told me if I ever have a boyfriend, to go back to her, because she'll give me information.
Well, your social worker can also point you in that direction too. Your social worker can talk to you about Voices with Choices, or can talk to you about You Inc., or can talk to you about Planned Parenthood. All of those things, it's important for you to know that these resources are there for when you need them. And you make that choice.
I just gotta figure out, I don't want my mom to get nervous because she keeps saying I'm a baby, but I go backwards. I can't go backwards.
So 4 months in the hospital, and you went through all of the physical things with your doctor. While you were in the hospital, did they talk to you about the stuff going on in your life, like in, how you're feeling, how you're looking at the world? They call that, I'm going to use a big word here, they call it psychiatric.
That's the kind of hospital I was in.
That you were in a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah. But I have to tell you, there were so many scary people there. They kept telling me that I was there because I have poor judgment.
Poor judgment.
They thought that I was depressed because they told me that I was suffering from depression, and that they wanted me to be. They started putting me on Zoloft.
Zoloft,
I think it's Zoloft. But then I started having even more bad dreams. So they were just letting me take a regular melatonin to go to sleep, because in the nighttime I will have a lot of bad dreams because there's people there that scream. How
much melatonin are you taking right now?
I haven't taken any since I came home because, we don't have, we can't afford it. So you could get it over the counter, but I haven't really been taking it. But I've been sleeping a little bit better, but there's days that I don't sleep good. So maybe I sleep, if I don't sleep in the nighttime, I'll just sleep in the morning.
Are you having trouble falling asleep, or do you find yourself waking up a lot?
I wake up a lot because my dad used to come in the room. So every time I hear a noise, I think that, or when the other people were around me. So
maybe you're not sleeping deep. You're kind of napping through
I wake
the night.
up like that.
Yeah.
So somebody called it a cat nap. I thought they were so silly. So I'm not a cat. I'm a girl.
No, but have you ever seen a cat that's laying there and you think it's asleep, and then you move towards it and all of a sudden its eyes are watching you, and then when it figures out that you're not a problem, it goes and it closes its eyes again? Well, that's a cat nap. It just means that you're up at every little sound. So your doctor said that you had poor judgment and said that you had depression. Are you feeling like he had the right idea about you, or do you not feel like that applies to you?
No, I think what he said was true. It's just, people don't understand what I'm dealing with. I don't think as who I am. It's just, these people will kill my family. How can I live with that?
Guess what? We only have another few minutes left. We've talked for almost 45 minutes all over again. Look at that, the time went by just like that. So as part of a wrap up, I think it's important that we establish some regular routines. So one of the things I always like to do is check in and see where you are right now. So if I asked you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very, very low and 10 being very, very high, how would you tell me you feel about being sad?
It's still like 4.
4. And how would you feel about being, feeling like you want to hurt yourself?
No, I don't want to hurt myself.
You don't want to hurt yourself? What about hurting other people?
No.
No. Are you feeling safe today?
I feel safe.
Good.
The door is open.
The door is open, and it always will be. One last thing before we go. One last thing. I want to talk to you a little bit about what I think some next steps should be. You and I have had a couple of pretty good sessions here. At least I think so. I think we get along kind of well. Would you be okay with seeing me regularly?
What does that mean?
Well, it means that you would come back twice a week, every week for right now, and we would have these sessions.
We just have to talk to my mom. When we leave, you come with me to talk to my mom?
Of course.
In Spanish.
Of course.
And then I don't care, I do it.
That's okay with you? I don't care seems like you're okay with letting something happen to you. I'm encouraging you to make a choice. Yes, you'd like to come see me?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
good.
you gotta talk to my mom.
I will talk to your mom. So yes, you want to come see me? Also, I want to make a referral for you for a medication evaluation. And what that means is that I have a friend who's a psychiatrist. And my friend, my coworker, she likes to sit and talk to people about what they need in terms of medication to help
So
them.
I gotta talk to her about everything I just talked to you
You
about?
don't.
You're gonna tell your friend?
I'll talk to her a little bit. I will share only the information that's important. So I'm not going to tell her all of that big stuff that you told me. I'll only share what's important with your permission. And then she's going to want to talk to you about the Zoloft and the melatonin, and she's going to evaluate you to see if there's any medicine out there that can help you.
Okay.
Does that sound okay to you? Do I have your permission to make that referral?
Do you need to talk to... I say yeah, but what about my mom?
Yeah. Well, in getting your permission first, because you're under 18 years old, I have to talk to your mom about that. But it's important that we start to because this is all your choice. This is all your, you have the right to accept it or don't.
Okay.
So I can handle the big things by talking to mom, but I don't want to go directly to mom without talking to you first.
Okay.
Because if it's not something that you want for you or something that you don't understand, that doesn't help you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right. So can I walk you out again? We'll go talk to mom about all those other things?
Okay.
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, did you want to leave your drawing journal here?
Yeah, leave it with
Okay,
you.
so just leave it on the table here and I'll put it in a safe place, okay?
Okay.
Okay, come on, let's
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello.